Mm-hmm.
We're recording. Perfect. Hi, ladies. So I don't have any topic scheduled for the call. I kind of just wanted to like have a mastermind with you guys and kind of hear from you guys of what is working well for you right now and what could we do together as a team that would help improve our teams and help improve our boot camps and help improve our work hours and like whatever, like anything you're struggling with and anything you're succeeding with, because I just feel like we don't have enough of these opportunities where we can get together and just brainstorm. I also am feeling this first part of the month like I've been struggling in parenting, so I feel really uninspired. Like, just to be totally honest, I'm like, I don't feel inspired. I actually need to hop on this call so that I can like, get plugged back in. And that's one of the best things about Summit is that it's like this juice of inspiration and you take it away and you can run on that for so long, but then it's like, okay, again, like we said when we left, how can we create that throughout the year? And so I was really looking forward to this call today, and thank you, Kimberly, for reminding me I hadn't posted the link yet.
I really wasn't sure, so I just was like, I don't know.
One day I'm going to get my ish together. But how are you guys? What is like, I don't know, like a few, okay, so first a few announcements. We do have the promo codes again this month. I'm sure you all know, but for anyone watching the replay too, so that means that you get 3 promo codes, $10 off for your first 3 people. I know Miguel did a call specifically, not this Monday, but last Monday. So you can go back and watch the recording or listen to it on the podcast. I like watching them because sometimes they have extra info that you see that you just don't get through the podcast. But he shared like how you can utilize the promo codes in talking to people. And I think that's definitely a must-watch, listen, call to help at least 3 people this month, and sharing those consistently in your stories and in conversations, and even like the wake-up call from this week with Rob Pearson, who I adore. I think he and his wife Chelsea are just the best ever. But I really like kind of what he said about really choosing those people that you're in conversation with, and kind of, I forget his wording exactly, but it was so genius of just like being like really singling out that person that you're like, I really think that you would be amazing in my boot camp because of X, Y, and Z, or on my team because of X, Y, and Z. And so I would really like for you to be the one, like I have 3 promo codes to give, and I really like for you to be the one that gets one. And kind of making it feel more special instead of just like, I have 10 spots open and who's my first 3, And like, not that you can't do that in your social media, but that was good insight for me when I listened to that, because I do think it makes it, you kind of impart your confidence onto them. They can like borrow their belief from you, like you breathe that belief into them. Like, I believe in you. I think that you would be amazing for this. And that's why I want to give this to you. So you make them feel special. You breathe that life into them. You breathe that confidence into them. And so I like that. We also have the $20 off still this month for all of the morning meltdown packs, which I'm super excited about. Jericho's having another launch group on September 4th, I think. So that's awesome. In the past, I haven't normally seen the super trainers doing like 2 launch groups. So I think that that's another opportunity. So it's kind of like we get to relaunch the program again, sharing our results, sharing our customers' results, of course, if they're comfortable with that. And just being really consistent. And I also loved what Rob said on the wake up call this week about like, if you want your invites to get better, then get better results. And that's so true. I know, like, when you're feeling, I went live, actually, Cassie and Hannah asked me to go, they're running a sneak peek on Instagram right now, together. And they asked me to just like hop in their stories and like share my story today, like the brief version. But I was like resharing my story in the beginning of like how I first got started in a boot camp. I didn't sign up as a coach right away. I became so obsessed with it and I felt so good from it that I was naturally just telling everyone. I was telling my sister and my mom and my dad and my friends and my ex-coworkers and all these people. And I was like, everyone needs to do this. I didn't even know that you could be a coach. I didn't even know that that was an option for me. I didn't even know that that existed, but I was passionately sharing because I felt so good. And I think that we forget that. And I know that that's the only reason why when I first got started as a coach, I was able to find people to get my Shakeology covered and things, and see some, wins early on. And I think it's just like our coaching business is never going to be, we're never going to be out of that first stage. We're always going to be doing that first stage of following a program, rocking it, getting results, sharing, inviting, having conversations, doing personal development, shouting people out on repeat. So yeah, I keep referring back to those calls, but I really liked those. And the only other thing that I wanted to say before I shut up and let you guys talk is, we had talked about doing the B100 in our team page, and I haven't done it. We haven't done it. That's my fault. And I just know that I have been feeling this because of like life, has felt intense with like parenting and whatever. I know how much I need, like I've loved the community for the workouts. I've loved the on Wednesdays we wear pink. I've loved the shake it on Friday. It's like that boost of like, okay, I see you guys post and tag me and I'm like, okay, I want to do it too. And it like brings that joy. So I just think tomorrow I will post a graphic in our page of like B100, kind of explain it. And we can all post our 20, like that we did our 20 invites of the day, and also maybe just screenshot the Success Club tracker for now, because it does cover like almost everything that I want us to be doing. And just start there. Just start with what we already have available to us, but like getting that in, and then we can rally around each other, kind of like what we've done with our stories, and encourage each other and tag each other too. Like, did you get this done yet? Like, I want you guys to call me out. Like, if we can just go in there and push each other to show up in our business the way we're pushing each other to show up in our fitness journey, I feel like that's going to create more excitement and camaraderie, especially when we're kind of feeling that lull. And I know that I'm not alone, because I've seen so many moms in my newsfeed lately that are like really struggling. They're like, it's really been hard. Parenting has been hard or whatever. And it's that I always feel it in August. I love August, but with my kids, it's like right before they start school, and they're like, we're starting to kind of get ready. They're sick of me. We need a little space. It's not done yet. I don't know. Like, I just feel like everyone kind of needs that. We always need community, but I really do right now. So those are the only things I wanted to chat about and get off my chest. And now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? What's working really well for you right now? What are you wanting to do? Do you have any ideas? Are you struggling? Is there anything that you're like, I want to help get my coaches to Emerald and we should run a push to Emerald together? Like, let's brainstorm and chat. Who wants to talk with me? Hi, Jessie.
Hey. So, I don't know. I guess I finally have a working coach, which has been it's like the first time in ever. It's been a long time. So, in the Coach Family page, they posted yesterday that they're doing, I think it's starting Monday, there's a push to Emerald. So I take that girl, she's joined that.
Oh, good.
So to Emerald next week, or maybe even this week. She's really pushing for it. And then she's going to join that push to Diamond.
Yes.
So that's super exciting. But as for like the work, I slacked last week and I'm not proud of it. But I'm showing up this week and I've got like all my invites.
Oh, I love that.
Because I love that idea of the 100 Club. And I hate when I'm not part of it.
Yes.
So like come Friday or Saturday, I'm like, shit, I don't have my 100 yet. So then I just make sure I get my 20 every day and 3 to 5 coach invites every day too. So
yeah.
that's all I got. But I slacked hard last week with like selling, like putting my house on the market and everything. And
Yes.
life has been crazy, but
Yes. Yes.
mm-hmm.
I love that. So awesome for your working coach. And that is right. They are running that Push to Emerald next week. So I think maybe we talk to, actually I could go in tonight in our team page and repost just like what they said. Because I know that not everyone is added to the coach page, or you mispost or whatever. And then we could go in and like tag our coaches that are, like you said you did, maybe you talked to her in private message too. But our coaches that we know that are pushing and would benefit from that, because then we don't have to recreate the wheel. But then we could maybe kind of assess after this next week and go, okay, should we run another one or something else? Like I know I really liked, again, Rob on the wake up call this week gave a bunch of tips and like how he mentors new coaches, and it's not complicated. But I really liked that. So that's something that, I don't know if you guys listened to that one or not, but we could kind of see how we could take that and use it for ourselves. But I love that. That's awesome. You have a working coach. Hooray. Hooray.
Yes, finally.
Yay. Good. Are any of you a part of the Diamond Dash? Are you signing up for it? No. You are, Karen. Yay. Yay, yay, yay.
I find that when I join those, I become overwhelmed with information. Like they are amazing and this information is so good, but then I find that when I'm trying to keep up with my invites and then watch those videos and the wake up call and team call, I just end up doing nothing because I'm so overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to stick with what I know.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that you've probably been a part of enough that you're like, I know what I need to do. I need to just do it. I do think that they're super beneficial if you're like really craving that the push and the community. And I'm hoping that they'll run this one with a little bit more accountability tucked in. I think that would be super beneficial. But if not, we're going to have that in our team page for the weekly 100. I will post that tomorrow. I think that'll be really awesome. And I think that that'll go really well for you, Karen, with everything. I also think I've heard from, like, I talked to like Brittany Kaiser and those girls that were a part of one of the Diamond Dashes last year that Ashley ran. They went diamond in it. And a big thing that I heard was some watched every video, like if they had the time, but no matter what, they did the work. Like no matter what, they were inviting, following up, like they made that the priority, not the video. If they had time for the video, cool. But regardless, they're like, I'm just going to hustle my face off and send so many invites and follow-ups and use this group as inspiration and like motivation to get that done. But Brittany was like, I watched maybe like some of the first videos and then I just like, I stayed active in the page, but I just like worked my face off so that she could get a piece of that pot too. So Karen, I'm really excited that you're a part of that and you're going diamond and this is happening for you. And I can't wait to celebrate you. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that it'll be cool too that they're, I think they're just running it within our team. So that'll be awesome. You have some rock star leaders in there. Are you excited?
And I saw like some of the can you hear me?
You're good.
Okay. I saw that a lot of the guests that they're gonna have are people that I look up to as well. So I'm excited about that. But I really like those groups, just like they like light me up, you know?
Yes.
And they get me really inspired. And then I like the ring the bell thing and I get to see,
yes.
Like, I don't know, I feel more pushed by everybody else hustling around me, you know?
Yes.
So
100%. And I totally get that too. And I think it's important that like whatever environment you work the best in, you know, so that you can place yourself in that environment. And hey, Cassie, I think it is so awesome that they are running this right now because it is like the perfect time to go diamond and to be a part of that group. So, and Karen, you crushed it last month. You hit Success Club 8.
Yep.
And that was the first time I don't remember, but I just know that you were like, I'm going for Success Club and I'm like pushing for diamond, and you made a decision and you went to Summit, and it's no surprise that that was like the best month you've had. And I'm just so happy for you. It was really cool to see you rock it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Anything else that's working well for you this month, or that we can help you with this month, or?
I don't, there's nothing that I noticed. Abigail just started crying.
Oh, I get it. You have to go.
No, it's cool. She's got a dad.
Okay.
No, it's just, I analyze my stories a lot because I don't get that many views. I average probably 120 something.
Yes.
And so it's like pretty easy to look. So I always look at which ones people clicked back on, just to be like, oh, what are people like want to take a second look at?
Yeah.
And I've been noticing this week, it's anytime I post a picture of like what bod looks like, or like it's always like anything workout related or like business related, like the team call from last night. So I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. I should do more of that, more of those kinds of posts, since people are interested.
You're like putting those breadcrumbs in there and people are picking up on them.
Yeah.
I love that. That's good. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, my husband's calling. Doesn't he know it's team call time? Cassie, we're just doing like a mastermind powwow of what is working well for us and what we like, what our goals are, what we want to work on together as a team or whatever this month. But I was telling them that I went live in your sneak peek, and that was really fun.
Thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I have a tendency to talk, and I was like, okay, I'm really going to try to keep this to the point. So it's beneficial for them. It's hard too. I'm like 6 years.
It is exactly
what
I did today.
What?
I did the exact same thing today. Like Hannah went live or did the story first, and I like, wrote down my top 3 things as to, like why I started coaching, so that way I wouldn't talk too much. And then my stories were still double the amount. Like my little things were double the amount she did, and I'm like, whatever.
I don't think it's a bad thing. It's how it is.
Exactly.
Good. So you guys are running a sneak peek together, and is this the first time you've run it together?
This is the second time.
Okay.
Yep. The second time we've done it together on Instagram.
I enjoyed like just being in there and even peeking around, because it was like gave me ideas. I tried running one this last month, and I just was like, I think I was just overthinking it. I'm like, I don't know what to post, how do I have to do, like, I don't know. I was just overthinking it.
Well, and I think that it helps whenever you do it with somebody else, because it's less thing that you have to do yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, we did our story today, but like, I don't know. I like to make sure that like we're posting throughout the day kind of thing. So then rather than me having to post all day for 3 days and like leave my regular Instagram hanging, like this just helps it out so much. And especially for tomorrow, like is our day in the life day. And that's my favorite day of the sneak peeks. But we make sure to do our vital behaviors. Like we post how we fit each vital behavior in our day. And it's kind of fun because like Hannah works outside of her house and she has a 45-minute commute each way. Okay. I work from in my home, and tomorrow is actually like, I mean, I usually do in-home daycare. Which I have to tell you something funny, not funny, but something about that. But, so I do in-home daycare, and tomorrow I actually don't have any kids. So it's just my 2 kids. Okay. And, so it'll be nice to kind of show 2 different aspects of like how you get the stuff done, and how I get my stuff done with my 2 kids running around, and how she gets her stuff done working outside of the house, and how she has to like fit things in her lunch hour and like listen to personal development as she's driving to and from work.
Yeah.
it's just interesting. Like, it's kind of nice to see two different sides.
For sure.
I think it looks really cool when we like have more people in the group,
Yes.
rather than like when I ran it by myself the first time I had like 6 people.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Like, having 6 people is great, because the first time I did a sneak peek on Facebook, I didn't have anybody, like the first 2 or 3 times. But like this one, consistently we're getting people in, and it's not just me and Hannah that are inviting, but we told all of our downline about it. And we're like, invite to this sneak peek that we have going on, even though you're not a host in it, you're still a part of our team, and this is a great way for you to learn how to do it on your own. And also, like, since you're not hosting one right now, you have something to send these potential coaches into.
Yeah.
So we have about 40 in it right now, and the number just keeps growing like throughout the day. And this was our first day of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been really cool. I like doing it so much better than the Facebook one.
Yeah. So how are you keeping track of like who, like, are you just like at the end you're just going to say reach out to the person that invited you, or?
Well, that's probably going to be how it goes. But
Yeah.
like, it's gotten to the point where I'm the one who's kind of weeding through everybody who's requesting in.
Yeah.
Because I actually had somebody who looked like a Beachbody coach, but I didn't recognize them. And then, like, I feel terrible because it's actually somebody who's on our team.
Oh.
And I was looking through her followers or who she was following, and she was following Karen. And I'm like, huh. And then I kept going. She was following Anna. And like, I'm like, well, what in the world? And then Hannah creeped and found out it was one of Anna's coaches.
Oh, okay.
Her name, I'm not sure what her name is, but her Instagram name is Getting Melty, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think it's one of her coaches.
So I texted Anna, and I'm like, hey, I just want you to know, like, if you're fine with it, I am totally fine with accepting her into this, but I don't want you to think I'm like trying to do something shady.
Yeah,
like, I just want you to know what's going on. And so like, if y'all want to request in just to see how we're running things or whatever you want, like,
yeah,
that's totally fine with me. Am I being too loud? I'm sorry. I'm on another call. Am I too loud? Oh, okay. Sorry. My husband is detasseling, and he has to get up at 3:45 in the mornings.
Oh.
He's been going to bed.
Sorry, husband.
I know. But so anyways, like, I just wanted to make sure that Anna was fine with it. So if anybody like wants to request in just to kind of see how we're doing it, not saying this is how you have to do it, but like, I'm all about trial and error and learning as I go.
Totally. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate you asking me too. It was good. And it was good practice for me to figure out how to put it in, like, really, like, that was short. I know it was long, but that was short for me. I was like, yes.
Whenever I would go live on Facebook, like in my Facebook Facebook sneak peeks, I would go for like 20 minutes.
Same.
Just talking about my story.
I know.
And I think people would see, 20 minutes long, not going to watch.
Yeah, totally. I know. And when I've run it, like you're saying about running with other people, earlier in the year, I ran one with Kayla Sykes and Brittany Kaiser. And I really loved that. And then I ran one with Brittany, and both times it was like, I'm much more concise because we'd like deviate tasks, So it's like, okay, I set a timer for 10 minutes, get in my story 10 minutes or less. And one time I was at 7 minutes. I was like, yes, so much better than 25 minutes. But it does help to have like the camaraderie of other people, and also like being able to share tasks. So that's cool. That's exciting. And you and your whole team, you guys had such like the record-breaking month this last month, which is amazing, awesome. With Morning Meltdown and promo codes and all the things. So what are your guys's, do you have anyone in we were talking about the Emerald Dash. Do you guys have anyone in the Emerald Dash or planning to be in the Emerald Dash?
I have one personally sponsored that's going into the Emerald Dash. And we're hoping that with the coach sneak peek, we'll be able to get a lot. Like those who decide to coach to the Emerald Dash. But personally, I only have one person because out of the 4 or 5 working coaches I have, there's only one that's not Emerald.
Yep.
So far. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. And I requested into the Emerald Dash so I can get some ideas.
Yeah. That's good. Good. I love it. Anything else going well for you this month or that you're focusing on?
Well, I watched somebody's call on like Beachbody Champions or something saying like obviously you want to find more working coaches, but to make sure that you're definitely like diving into people that you already have. And I've been trying to do that, like make sure that I'm showing up more and just really like reaching out to the girls that I already have and not just like going off the radar. Because sometimes I feel like I kind of do that when they start getting silent, then I just kind of forget. So I'm making it more of a point to reach out to them like, hey, do I do a one-on-one and like see where you're at in your business, what we can make better kind of thing. Because I'm all about like working one-on-one with people instead of just like sending them to a group or something. Like, I don't know. That's just how I am. But
I'm the same. I enjoy it so much more. And I also think it's because that's how I was early on. Like, especially as a new coach, I remember being put in like it was like way back in the day when Fit and Funk or Danielle ran Fit and Funky Wide, like Push to Emerald. And it was so overwhelming to me that I just like didn't even do anything. It wasn't that I didn't want Emerald, but it was just like too much. But anytime I got the one-on-one time with Ashley, it was like, okay, I can do that. Like it would just needed like those breadcrumbs and also that kind of like encouraging word and attention. And like, I don't know, that helped me more than any training. So,
well, and speaking of that, I think I never listened, like go on Danielle and the Tony's like team calls or anything, but I randomly hopped onto one like last week and Jamie Ennis, I think was her speaker. And she was saying like how, and like the last thing that I want to do is say that like if you're doing it this way that you're doing it the wrong way, but it's just something that resonates with me more. It's like this really hit home for me because she was saying if like your coach, host, push to or like not Emerald, like getting started right calls, and you're just saying, hey, go into that and listen to them. They're not going to exactly resonate with that coach who's putting it on because like you're their coach.
Totally.
And they wanted to be on your team. They wanted to be with you and you're just sending them off somewhere else. Yeah. And so that kind of like, I didn't exactly just say like, hey, you need to go listen to this call. But I always had them like, I'd do a one-on-one, but I would say, hey, before we do this, like before we get chatting tomorrow on our one-on-one, like check out this call. And then if you have any questions afterwards, we can talk about it in our chat. But then like now I'm just like, maybe I should start like maybe my first one-on-one should be like the getting started right call or something. So they were from me because I know that's more like you were saying, it's how you would want you like resonated with more.
Yes,
and
totally.
I just kind of gathered that from the 5 minutes I was on Danielle and the Tony's call the other day.
Yeah. No, I think I'm so glad you brought that up because I actually have a note here on my desk that says host your own, like somewhere around here, but host your own one on like getting started right calls and push to Emerald calls because I've always I'll do one-on-ones with people, but then I will send them to like watch this recording. Not that it's not beneficial. And you also hear the other side of you don't need to recreate the wheel, but I'm like, well, I don't really know that the wheel is working for my people because maybe it's that it's not like if the wheel isn't working, then you actually need to not necessarily recreate it, but just mimic it, do it yourself. Because I'm so different than Ashley and like all of us were totally different people. And so same thing for me as a new coach, Danielle seemed like I didn't resonate at all with her. Like now I think she's awesome and a powerhouse, but I just getting started, I'm like, you're like a foreign object to me. I don't even know who you are. Like nothing resonated, but anything that Ashley said, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense because
because you signed up with her and that's who you're at that point wanting to be with, you know?
Yeah. So that wouldn't be a bad idea. Like for maybe you're going to start doing that in your team page too, but I'm thinking once a month, like having that, because once a month isn't that big of a commitment in doing just a getting started right call and a push to Emerald. And then you can, people sign on later, you can send them the recording, and that could be fun too.
Sorry, I'm like looking at my back office, and I needed to make my husband active to like stick with my qualification, and I did, and now like I'm missing coaches on my back office, and it's freaking me out.
You need to go call Coach Relations. You go, girl.
Like I don't
Sometimes the back office is wacky.
Well, because I just like right before I refreshed, I had 6 active on my right leg, and now there's only 7 coaches there, and only 3 of them are active, and I don't know why. I think it's just a glitch because they're just there.
I've had that happen before where it's not showing coaches that I'm like, I know that they're still there. Where'd they go?
Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine. Well, cool. Kim, I haven't heard from you yet. What's going on with you this month? What's working well? What are you working on? What's your focus? What can we help you with? All the above.
Well, I'm talking to a couple different ladies that just trying to get them like on board, I guess, and trying to figure out kind of like what's holding them back.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that stuff. So, I mean, there's some good conversations going on, but yeah, I had the 2 boot campers, not coaches, sign up last month. Yeah, I guess just like trying to get more engagement. And even on like Instagram, like just not having like new followers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that like across, like everybody's been saying that like their engagement's super low right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that. So trying to like reach out and find new people that I can connect with, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now, or kind of like struggling with, I guess. But that, and then like I kind of want to make it more of like a power hour in the morning, or trying to fit that in, because I have the time at night, but it's not, I either need to figure out how to make that happen at night, or I've tried like maybe getting up earlier in the morning. But like, I know Jesse, you've done that before, like where you're up doing your stuff early in the morning, right? Like as far as like your goal setting and like daily affirmations, stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't do like my invites in the morning because I feel like that sucks my energy first thing in the morning. But I do after my workout, I do like the 100 book, and then like in this one notebook, it's like divided into 3s. So at the beginning of each week, I set out like my weekly goals, my goals for the year, and then my goals for 5 years, and then affirmations for the month. And then each day I write out my affirmations again, and then I write my goals for the day, and then 3 things I'm grateful for every morning. And I feel like that's definitely set more positive outlook on my day, considering my year.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, I think I just need to do like, even if it's a quick like 10-15 minutes in the morning with just a little bit of that, and then try to like do my inviting and stuff then I guess at night. But
I think probably like power pockets are really helpful. I know like for me, sitting down and getting it all done in one fell swoop is often I don't have that time. And then the other part is it can be overwhelming. Like my mind can get, I don't know. It's like I work better. It's all about knowing how you work best. Like for me, sometimes I work better and being like, okay, I'm going to sit down and be super concentrated to get these 20 invites done or whatever, and just crank it out, and then go have, like whatever you need to do, work or go jump around or whatever to get the endorphins going. Unless you're like in a groove and you have the time, cool, keep going and then knock out your follow-ups or whatever. But if you are like, I know for me, when I own my mornings with a workout, with the affirmations and journaling and goal setting, and then also anything small that you can eat the frog on, which for me is invites, and get, even if it's, you get 5 done, then you kind of like feel like you started your day ahead. And so whenever you go back to get work done, you feel more motivated to do it instead of feeling like, oh, I have all of this to do. You're like, oh, I already did 5. If my goal is 20 a day, I only have 15 more to go. Like, I don't know. I just think that that's any way that you can add it in, even a small way. Maybe it's 3 invites in the morning first thing. If you're like, I don't have a ton of time, but I can crank out 3 every morning. And then I know every single day I'm super consistent. Even if the rest of the day went to complete crap, you know, you got 3 invites done every single day. Or whatever your number is, you know, but I think that's something I can be like, I'm listening right now to a book called Finish, and I just started it, but I really love it. It was one that actually, the girl that we loved, that we listened to at Josh's event.
By John Acuff, right?
Yep.
Are
you listening to that too?
I have it on Audible. I don't think I've listened to it.
I really like him. This is the first book I've listened to from him, I think.
He has a book called Start, and I listened to that one.
Yep.
So, but he's really funny. He's good.
He is funny. I like it a lot. And I like that he reads it. So it's actually personable. But the girl who was Ashley McClellan, is that it? Ashley McClellan? Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Yeah. She was the one though that was like really struggling with, she was stay-at-home mama of 2, feeling super overwhelmed. Finances were crazy. Her business was like, technically she was a 2-star, but she was not seeing income and total crap, whatever. And then she started Josh's push group, but she said like getting that book, that was like one of the books that changed everything for her. She just listened to it over and over again, but it's all about just the start of it. I'm really loving in that we think like the hardest part is just starting, but often it's finishing. Like, you know, all those stats of like people that, you know, 92% of people that start a New Year's resolution have dropped off by February or whatever the stat is. So it is really like honing in on finishing. Whatever it is you start, you finish, even if it's imperfectly. And most likely it's going to be imperfectly. But often what happens is you like, say for instance, we're like doing this B100 for 100 invites a week. And you're like, shoot, I didn't get in 20 invites yesterday. And so then you feel like crap this day. And then you just drop off. And then a week later, you're like, I haven't done any. Oh no, now I'm so far behind. And then you either start again or you just get even farther behind. It's like that. It's just not expecting it to be perfect, but just being like, I'm just going to do it. Like you just, instead of waiting for your training to be perfect, you just do it. Instead of waiting for your post to be perfect, you just put it up and do it, do your best. And then you learn from it and keep going. And again, this is just the beginning of the book. So I'm excited to dive more into it. But,
who did you say that was by?
John Acuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I got it on Audible and I'm loving it. But yeah, I don't know what started that conversation. But, your morning routine. Yeah. So Cassie, in the past, just curiosity, are you and Hannah still sending like 50 invites a day, or how many invites are you sending a day?
To be quite honest, like I didn't send a single invite in the past like week.
Oh, perfect. I love honesty.
And last night I sent out 33. Like it was the first night that first time I sent out invites in over a week. And although I got like quite a few no's, I still had some that were interested, and it just like I have to remember, like I get very, very discouraged by no's. Mm-hmm. And like I almost get like anxiety whenever I see that somebody has messaged me back. And
I am that way. I'm like, it's like I'm scared to open it. What the heck? Yeah. I'm so glad you said that. Keep going. I'm sorry.
So like I'll see like the one in the corner and I'm just like, oh, do I open it? Like so like this morning I had like 7 replies and I looked and like quite a few were no's, but then there were just like 2 or 3 that were like, oh, like give me some more information or something like that. And I just have to remember that like I'm going to get no's, but it's going to make the yeses feel that much better.
Yes.
Or like the tell me more is that much better.
Yes.
But yeah, so the inviting hasn't been that great for me lately, but I know that Hannah has still been inviting her ass off. Like she said she sent 50 invites every day this month so far, and she hasn't got, well, she, I think, sold a challenge pack today. She signed up a coach today. But other than that, like it's been a tough start to the month for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like it's interesting to me like how some people's months can be like so freaking good, and that same month can be just terrible for other people.
Yeah.
Like I can't figure it out.
No, it's true. It's true. And it's all, it's all so many factors, like who we're talking to, what our energy is, what like, consistency, all the things. It all plays a part, but that's good to know. As far as like how many you're sending and stuff. We was telling the girls, I'm going to put a post up tomorrow. We'd heard it on, where did we hear it? Did we hear it from a speaker or a call? I don't even remember now.
The what?
The B100. So anyways, I think it was a speaker that we listened to, I think, but they were talking about for their team. It was at Summit.
It was the UK coach.
It was the UK coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So that was at like the general session. She was talking about how for their team, they have a weekly challenge for inviting of like the 100 club. So she just like puts up a graphic in her team page and they all comment on it of like, I got my 20 in today or whatever, so that by the end of that week, you get in at least 100. And if you're inviting more, awesome. But like the goal is 100. And we were talking about, we've talked for a while about doing that, but I'm going to put up a post because I was just telling them like this month has been a really slow start for me. I've also been, like struggling with parenting and balancing these things and school starting soon and my mom and sister coming soon to visit. And I'm like, life can like have a way of drawing out your energy. So you feel like, and then if your business isn't just naturally generating, you're like, it like takes even more energy. But having that camaraderie of, hey, did you get in your 20 invites yet today? And like making it fun and having it all together. And then I want to do a separate post each week in our team page as well of celebrating the no's, because I do think we get so hung up, I know I do, on the no's that we think it's a bad thing. But instead of being like, well, you can't ever get yeses if you're not getting no's. No's are a good thing. No's, you just planted a seed, and that person could come back next week, next month, next year, next 5 years, whatever, and really like celebrating those together. And especially for new coaches, because if you are starting to invite and you're new and you're getting a bunch of no's and then you get discouraged and you think you're doing something wrong, instead of celebrating the fact that, yay, you're taking action. It's a good thing. So yeah.
I want to show y'all something really, really quick. So like speaking of celebrating the no's, so, okay, let's see. This girl, I have been, you might not be able to see, I have been inviting her since November 6th, like every month. I sent her a little like video thing, happy Thanksgiving.
How cute.
No response. And then in June, she, so that was from November to June. Like,
and you just invited her every month.
Yep, every month. And in June, she like requested into my coach sneak peek on Instagram. And I'm like, this girl has been ghosting me for like 6 months now. And I messaged her at the end of the sneak peek. I'm like, hey, just want to see, like, I know that you were in the sneak peek, whatever. What do you think about it? And she was like, well, I don't know about coaching, but I am ready to jump into the boot camp. And so like that kind of brought my spirits back up a little bit. And I just wanted to share that. So that way, like even though somebody may be ghosting you for this long, like I just showed you for freaking 7 months. And then finally she was like, okay, I'm ready. Like they see you, they hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
even though they're not replying. And I have to remind myself of this quite often.
I love that.
Of all the ghosting that I get. And then this girl, like I have to just remind myself that it could take 7 months for some of these people.
Yeah.
So
How long do you go before you're like, okay, I have to like close the book on this one? Like,
until they block me.
Until they block you?
Yeah, which I don't think I've ever had anybody block me yet, but
because I think like my thing is I just am like, okay, whatever, like you don't know what you're missing out on, but like it's kind of like the attitude of like, it's your loss, like if you're not gonna join me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could be like that too, but I don't know, like I start to feel like I'm like not running out of people to invite, but then I go through all these people that I've been inviting, and I mean, I don't know, it just
yeah.
you never
I've
know.
had a lot of that too, like where I'm like, you've seen the message, you saw the one before that, like you're not answering me, so
well, and it's even amazing, like especially like this girl, she would look at my stories every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there are so many people who ghost me, yet they look at my stories every damn day.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, why not keep inviting them? Because they're obviously interested in you. Like,
they obviously like you. They don't keep coming.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they're still watching your stories, invite them every freaking month.
Yeah. And do you change your invite up a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like I'll look at my past invites, because usually I say like, hey, Emily, happy Tuesday, or like, hey, hope your week's going great so far. So I have to kind of like scroll up to see what I said recently, so it doesn't look just verbatim.
Yes.
So I'll switch things around a little bit, because I hate seeming like I'm being like salesy. I try to keep it as personal as possible, but
yes, I love it. And I think like just to like add to that, totally different business, but I think I've talked about this before. My dad has a window cleaning business, and I mean, in order for him to get business, it's very much the same way as it is for us. He like now his business is so built that he rarely does this, but especially in the beginning and all throughout for years and years and years and years and years, he would go door to door and say, hi, my name is Bryce Bassett. I'm a window cleaner. I do commercial. I'd like to, like, here's my card. I'd like to give you guys a bid. Whatever that was his invite, basically, but it's face to face. And that's how he had to get business. And unless, someone happened to find his number out of the phone book, just like if someone happens to click on our link and, find us and fill out our form, or if, it was a referral. But most of his business, just like us, most of our business is going to be built on that inviting, whether it's, face-to-face or our face-to-face is a message. And he had this big account in Eugene. It was like one of his biggest accounts he went for, and he wanted it for years. It was the Hilton Hotel. And I think he went back, I don't remember the exact number. I think it was like 26 times to get one account. Like, how many people would do that though? And he just kept going back. He's not pushy. He's super friendly and super loving. Like, hey, just wanted to check back in with you guys and see, if you needed a window cleaner. And they had one, they had one for years. He just kept going back and kept going back and kept going back because he wanted it. He decided at some point, you will be mine. And he wasn't like threatening or obnoxious. He literally was like so likable that he just wore them down. Be so likable and so kind, and like infuse whatever it is, like positivity into that person that like they can't help but eventually want to join you. And I think that's like what to Cassie's effect of like, she just keeps showing up. And I also think that's also telling people they're not just a number, and you're not giving up on them, and you're not going to give up on them. If they start a fitness program and are struggling, you're going to keep showing up for them. So that's good.
Something else I was going to add was whenever people have been saying no's, like I haven't had anybody that was rude about it, and they always end up finishing off like no, not right now, I'm not interested, but I love watching your stories every day.
Yeah.
Or like, you're super inspiring.
Yep.
And we also kind of have to remind ourselves that, like, even though they're saying no to the opportunity, like, think of the compliment that they're giving you right then. Like, I love hearing that kind of stuff, like, oh, I love how real you are, or I love watching your stories, and that makes me feel really good. So then at least, like, if I'm hearing a no, at least I'm getting something good out of it. So
yes. Totally. And
I have to remind myself of this stuff right now.
No,
like,
I know. No, it's a good reminder for me too.
Like, okay, I can take these no's.
Yes, 100%. And I also think Allie Griffith is someone who I really love how she turns that into just conversation. So she, when she gets a no, or she gets a no, I'm doing Weight Watchers, or I'm doing whatever, she's like, oh, that's awesome. How is that going for you? You know, like, she really just builds that friendship. And then she'll check back, say that person's doing Weight Watchers, and then the conversation kind of dies out a little bit. In a month, she'll follow up with them, not being like, hey, do you want to be a part of my boot camp? But hey, girl, just thinking about you. How's Weight Watchers going? Like, just being friendly, being a friend. And then eventually that person, like, if they're not loving it, they end up signing up with her because she was just friendly. She was kind. She didn't take it as like personal of, oh, you don't want to join Beachbody right now. You know, like, be friendly. Or if someone says you're positive and motivating, be like, oh, awesome. You know, like, appreciate that. Thank them, but also be like, oh, you know, like, are you on a fitness journey of your own? Because then you can keep that conversation going and just keep building that friendship. So this has been really helpful. It's always a good reminder just to talk with each other, because you start feeling like you're an island and you're working by yourself, which is why I love getting to connect with you guys. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, specifically, I have a girl that's pretty interested, but she told me that they're gonna try to get pregnant again. And so she's like, I don't know if, like, I want to check with my doctor about, like, drinking the shakes and the Energize and all that stuff. So I'm like, you know, obviously I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, what do you say? I mean, because she's one where I kind of had to, like, keep following up. And there was, you know, she moved houses and now this. And so it's just like, I'm kind of waiting, but because I know that people do drink that stuff, but I know, like, she wanted to check with her doctor, like, specifically. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, in that case where,
I mean,
I don't want to, like, persuade her, like, no, it's perfectly, it's safe. Like, I don't want to, you know.
Yeah, I would just, like, for me, if I was responding to that, if she said, I'm interested, but I want to check with my doctor first, be like, oh, for sure, check with your doctor. You know, say I didn't have kids, then I would just say, yeah, for sure, check with your doctor. Just so you know, I do have a ton of friends on our team that their doctor okayed it. They drank it all through pregnancy, all through breastfeeding, and absolutely loved Shakeology. But I still think that you should check with your doctor. And then, you know, would it be okay with you then you could ask, you know, like, when are you going to see them next? Or would it be okay if I check back with you in a few weeks? Or, you know, like, do you know when you're going to see them next, or whatever? Don't be afraid to end it with that question. If they're saying, I need to check with my doctor, cool, you definitely should, like, encourage that. But that's how I would answer it. Yeah.
I always add in too, like, because I get a lot like that, especially because I'm a mom, so I have a lot of moms following me.
Mm-hmm.
And I always mention that we have an entire like area or whatever for prenatal workouts and postnatal. We've got yoga. So if they, like, and I always remind them how important it is to stay active during their pregnancy. So not to jump into an intense program, but to go with some yoga at home or whatever. Like, so I just mentioned that we do have prenatal and postnatal programs as well.
Yes.
And because I can relate with the pregnancy, I just tell them how much better I felt in my second pregnancy being active and doing at-home workouts than I did in my first pregnancy when I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Same. And that is true. I did have someone I remember just recently, she was like, I want to, but I think they were trying for baby number 2 or something. And I let her know, yeah, you should check with your doctor. But I told her that we do have, just so you know, we do have workouts that are specific for prenatal, postnatal, and also workouts that are so simple to modify that you could do low impact, PIO. Oh my gosh, that was like my lifesaver, my 3rd trimester pregnancy. So yeah, and she was like, oh, that's really good to know. So yeah, just.
Okay. Another random one I have is another girl is giving me, you know, asking all the questions and everything. And now she sounds like she's almost like ready to commit, but then she tells me like she doesn't have a credit card. So how does she like pay for it? So I'm like, well, I don't know how to exactly, I'm like, well, I can, I think it's like, you know, credit or debit card to purchase online, but I'll like double check if there's anything. So like, how else do you go about, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say.
She only carries cash?
Huh?
Well, I don't know. Like, that's why I asked her, like, I said like credit or debit card because I would think she'd have a debit card at least.
Wait, is she from the Midwest?
Yeah, she's from like my hometown.
Everybody freaking pays with cash or checks, and that's like it.
That's like my husband. We go anywhere and he's like, oh, I'm out of money. I'm like, you do know that you have a card in there that like pays for things, right? You're not out of money. You're just an old man. I hope you can hear me, honey. I love you. Yeah. So I would just say I've had people, let them know it's card or debit. I think that you can get like actually, no, I don't think a prepaid gift card works. Or like.
I have had that. I mean, it was probably a year, 2 or 3 years ago. I had someone who didn't have a credit card. And her parents wouldn't, like, she was going to just pay her parents off their credit card every month. So instead, she just bought a prepaid Visa every month. And, like, it was a pain in the ass. It was a huge hassle to always put a new card on. But she was able to use a prepaid Visa every month.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's changed. That was a few years ago.
That's good to know. So maybe that would work. I kind of always come back to too, like if they want it, they're going to figure out a way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, God bless. Talk to me when you're actually ready.
That's why I just want to post so much shit where I'm
century.
like, I love that. Like, I feel so good because you're reaching out and like, just so they're like, oh shit, maybe I should have joined.
Totally. Cool. We're already over an hour. Do you guys have anything else you want to chat about before we hop off? I love getting to connect with you ladies. Thank you so much. This has been really good. I appreciate all of your insight and tips and questions and all the things. And I'm going to take a picture before y'all hop off. And Abigail looks like she looks how I feel. She's like leaning her head down on the pillow.
It is an hour past her bedtime.
Yeah. I got y'all. Okay. Love you the most. Have the best night. Tomorrow's Thursday. We celebrate. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. I will post tomorrow on our page. Bye.
Bye.